No one ever taught us that it's really important to, grab your wife by the hands and, sit down with her on the couch and hold her hands and look her in the eyes and say, tell me what's on your mind today. Like 99% of the world, if I interviewed guys right now, they've never done that. And so we can do all of these little things that seem trivial that have this huge emotional impact that
Mm.
create all this safety. And when we do that, you know, that idea of becoming the leader just naturally flows. And a lot of guys, every guy I've ever met, he's had a desire for his wife to respect him and for his wife to kind of bestow upon him that leadership authority or that leadership role. He wants to be the leader. And when we know how to show up in such a way that creates all the emotional safety, our wives just pass us the baton. They're like, dude, you are the leader. I will follow you to the ends of the earth because I know that you're looking out for me. A
Mm.
lot of wives don't know that with like supreme confidence that we are genuinely have their best interest in mind. I mean, yeah, they know that we're there for them. We're good guys. We're not going to cheat on them. But it's like, do you really, like, emphasis on the word really, do you really have my best interest in mind? Now, we would all say, yes, I do, but they don't feel that. So it's our job to help them feel that.
Yeah, I love that. Like that sitting down. That's the intentionality of when we take a look at what we call the E11 and E10, right? And we're talking about the intentionality of time every day with our wives. Maybe a note that goes to every day, just that specific like let's check in, man. What's going on with you? Just that temperature check. But I love what he's saying too. First and foremost, setting that tone, and it goes and it ties in very closely with what we were talking about yesterday too, with that whole trust factor. When you trust yourself, other people trust you more too because you trust yourself. When Amian shows up and he is just calm, cool, confident, collected, not cocky, just very calm, cool, like I would not want to be any other place in the world other than right here with these three ladies. And man, let's just have a great time. And you're just trusting your own emotions on, man, they feel that. They feel that. And it's like, you bet. And then you can pour into them, and their heart is wide open to accept everything you're saying, big or small. But when you feel, and I'm saying this for myself too, when I feel like if I go upstairs, after a day and I'm feeling like, okay, and I'm sitting there thinking about stuff that I still got to do or thinking about something and there's just that disconnect there, even though I'm not saying anything wrong, I'm not doing, but it just creates a different vibe in the house. I got
Mm.
to put that away, go up there and just be like, man, here we are. We're home. It's a different vibe, man. Different vibe. Really good, Amy.
Thank you,
Yeah,
sir.
it's a great question, Amy, and hopefully that helped you. Can I add a comment to this, Matt? Because I want to share something also that I think is really important, like from a historical perspective. So it's like why so we're kind of answering the question like what why does this emotional safety matter that much? Like maybe women are just too emotional and maybe they shouldn't care about this stuff, and we can kind of go into that. Okay, but here's the thing that we have to understand. Let's go back in time a little bit. Let's go back in time, not even that long ago. Let's go back 500 years ago in time. Okay. If a woman was connected to a man and had a child with a man, if that man ended up leaving the relationship, it meant pretty much certain death for the woman and her offspring. Okay. Like going back in time into civilization, okay, that woman would have been discarded from most societies. Okay. That's just a fact. Okay. So why does that how is that relevant? Well, we can fast forward to 2025 and we have community property states and we have alimony and women are in the workforce and women make good money and this and that. But from a DNA standpoint, there's still wiring inside the minds of women that their survival mechanism has been dependent upon the level of safety, trust, establishment with their mate. If that level of safety felt a little bit shaky, it creates a trauma response inside women where their brains literally go to a place of fight or flight. Now, guys don't feel that as much because our DNA hasn't adapted with that same level of risk. But women have carried a different level of risk when it comes to being connected in partnership. Historically, if a guy exited a relationship, he's going to be fine. He would find, if he has some resources, he would find, another woman, he would have more children. This is the course of kind of human history. The women didn't have that same experience. They would have been kind of outcasts of society. And there's lots of historical incidences where they would have actually died a physical death because nobody would have taken care of them. That's why women are so hyper vigilant on monitoring the
Mm.
establishment of the relationship. That's why women are, that's why men set the tone and the temperature. Women are actually monitoring the thermostat. So we set the tone, they're just monitoring it. They're kind of like, is everything okay? I see you look a little bit grumpy. You didn't smile at me today. You didn't ask me how I'm doing, right? And then women kind of fall into this kind of like nagging kind of archetype, right? Where it's like, gosh, why is this person chronically unhappy? Well, from a DNA standpoint, from like a subconscious standpoint, they are assessing
Yeah.
the safety of the relationship because it's part of their adapted survival mechanism.